This morning, we're going to keep this really, really short and sweet. I just want to say this morning that it has been so much of a joy to be able to worship together in person the last 2 weeks in a row now. To be able to stand outside before we start and just talk to every single person coming in, to be able to see faces, to be able to see smiles, to be able to hear laughs, to be able to hear voices and voices singing. It's all been just really, really good. For me, it's been good for my family, and hopefully it's been good for those others of you that have been able to be there as well. Um, to love the Lord is to love the church, and to love the church is to love the people of the church, and that's why we're made to be together. We're not made to be separated. We're not made to be apart. We are made to be together. And when we're together, it was designed to be joy. It was designed to be good. That's what it's supposed to be, and that's what it is. We read really really popular verse to talk about and to say, but it's important to who we are to remind ourselves that this church we read about in Acts gives us a picture. Anyways, not that church was perfect, not that any church has ever been perfect, because it's always full of us, and so it's never gonna be perfect. Never has been, and never will be. But when we read in Acts chapter 2, we read about the way the church was relating to one another, and it gives us something to strive for. Even though we recognize that even the church then wasn't perfect, still had flaws, but it gives us a good role model type figure to look at. And so in Acts 2:42 through 47, we read, "They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved." The most important aspect of the church was and is today the togetherness of it. That's why Jesus prays in John 17 for the unity of all believers. He prays for us today to be together, to be unified. And that's why, because it's important. That's why in John 15, Jesus says, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I've told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." Jesus wanted us to be together because he wanted us to be able to love one another. Because when we love one another, when we love the church, we're loving the bride of Christ. We're loving his bride. And so if we're not together loving each other within the church, it's hard to say that we're actively loving Jesus. And I realize right now is a weird time on that, and so there's some people that aren't here being able to do that with each other because you shouldn't be here yet. You need to do what is safe and what is good for you and your family. But the principle that you can't love Jesus without being together and loving the church is as true of a principle as there is. Have you ever known anybody that has been taken away from their siblings? I mean, ripped apart from their siblings, not by choice, but by force. They've been taken away. They've been taken into different homes. They've maybe even been moved with different cities or two different cities. Their hearts are broken. The hearts of those siblings are absolutely crushed when they get taken away from each other. And I would say for many of them, the siblings miss each other maybe even more so than they miss their mom or their dad. They want to be with their brothers. They want to be with their sisters. Their hearts are broken because the people that they've woken up with every single morning, the people they've went to sleep with every single night, the people that they've played with every single day, the people that they've been through the happiest moments of their life with, the people they've been through the worst moments of their life with, are no longer with them. And because of that, their hearts ache every single day to be back together. That's all they want. And that is what on some level has happened to the church all throughout the world these last couple of months. When we're born again, we are told that it's at that point we become children of God. Before we're born again, we are a creation of God, but we're not a child of God. And at rebirth, we become a child of God, children that have been adopted into the family of God. And so at that rebirth, we are no longer just friends of other believers, but we are brothers and sisters of other believers. We become family. We become siblings. And I hope that our hearts, I hope that all of our hearts have ached to be back together. If your heart hasn't ached to be back together, I would say you might need to re-examine what it really means to love Jesus Christ. But being able to be back together with some of those siblings these last couple of weeks has given us reason to rejoice. The brokenness of being apart is beginning to be replaced with the joy of being back together again. And for those of you that are still staying at home because of just continued concerns or health reasons, we love you so much. And we're going to keep praying for you and keep looking forward to that time when you also get to be back together in person with us. But for those of you that have been able to come back together, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for those of you that have been just been here the last couple of weeks. It has uplifted me. It has made my heart happy, and I hope that you have had that same thing happen within you as well. This coming week, and for as long as we continue to do 2 services, there's going to be some of us that are going to go out into the pavilion between services around 10 o'clock or a little bit afterwards, and we're gonna eat breakfast together. So it's a bring your own breakfast. We're not going to be sharing food off people's plates. I guess you can do that if you want, but that's not the plan. Bring your own breakfast, but we want to have another opportunity to be together. We want to have another opportunity to spend time with you, to speak to you, to love you. And so we hope that if you're going to be showing up at one of those 2 services anyways, we hope that either after the first one, you'll stick around and stay late and eat with us. Or if you're coming to that second one, come early and be there to eat with us. And that way people from service 1 and service 2 still have an opportunity to come together and see each other and rejoice with one another and have fellowship with one another. We are meant to be together. We were not meant to just worship together. If all we were meant to do was to worship together, that would be a really shallow sibling relationship, right? If we're going to call ourselves family, if we're going to call ourselves brothers and sister siblings, and all we thought that we were supposed to do is worship together, that would be incredibly shallow. We were meant to do life together, just like siblings and families do life together. We are siblings, we are a family, and we thank God for that. I love you. Can't wait to see every single one of you. Have a wonderful day.